Hello, Internet! It's Kailey from Infinite Stories, and I'm here with the fabulous Danielle Radford and Masood Haque, and we are trying a little something I'm calling Fantasy Fixer-Upper. Infinite Stories is a world-building tool, in addition to a fantastic free GM toolkit, and sometimes your world-building just needs a little bit of a boost, a little bit of help, and sometimes it's nice to, tell stories collaboratively with friends. I wonder what mediums are very good for telling stories collaboratively with friends. I have been so privileged to play at tables with both of these wonderful humans. And so today we are going to take a flawed world-building concept that I did in like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to be gentle. It's not supposed to be good, but it has good bones. Just needs a little renovation. I'm going to be making so many HGTV jokes. I'm warning everyone now. And I'm not sorry.
You shouldn't be.
No apologies.
Absolutely. In my head, I'm counting the ones I can get up to, and the amount of times I will say open concept, we will keep a tally. We will see how it goes.
Before we dive into the specific world building of my weird little world that I started and did not finish, what are the aspects of world building that are important to you? If you were trying to get a setting, even like a small setting, like a little town or even a single building, ready to play at a table, what are the aspects of the world that need to be fleshed out for you?
To me, immediate thing that I go to when I hear that is, what can I like sink my fingers into? Like, what are the things that are like kind of like tactile and tangible, and how can I relate that to the players that are going to be there? So if it's a setting that's going to be like a kids on bikes or like more of a modern sort of like present day scenario, it might be a little bit easier to make some of that translation. It's like, you know what the summer was like in 97 and like, you know what I mean? Like we can make some of those claims. If it's something more fantastical, something a little more further out, well, it might be like, ooh, this campaign's really going to be about magic. So I'm going to think about how magic affects the world. What does that mean for the crops? What does it mean for politicians? What does it mean for people delivering mail? Like some of that infrastructure stuff, I think is like really fun to think about how things connect that way. Because it also feels so mundane that it can be overlooked by your like players, but like just grounding them in those things, be like, and you know how this works. I think is always fun to play with.
Yeah, taking the fantastic and making it mundane, or taking the mundane and making it fantastic, are like two of my favorite things. So usually like I am very, when I start like the very beginning, before like it's very like vibes forward, and I usually try to do some version of that. Like Masood was saying, it's like if you look at something like The Good Place, right, where they've taken something that is very fantastic, the idea of the afterlife, and they've turned it into something very mundane, which is like middle management, things that you can do like that, and then figure out how you can start kind of from there is usually a fun thing, or, say you're doing a campaign and everybody's super whittle. Okay, so if everybody's super whittle, then like, how does the whittle world work? And like, does that mean necessarily that like, that means that there is also like a bigger world? And like, how does the bigger world work? And like, how do those things scale into each other? So those are a couple of the things that I kind of think of, because those are things that are super fun for me.
I love that because I was gonna say with if you have a whittle world, like whittle to who? What does that mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
in comparison to what?
Exactly. That's so much fun to play with.
There's modes of transfer where it's like, okay, well, I need to get to work, and I know that work is, if I live in a little cupboard and I work in the kitchen, I know that the 10 a.m. Bob is going to get up at like 8 and go to get coffee. So I'm going to hitch a ride on the shoelace and take the 10 a.m. Bob to get to my job. Things like that.
And when the 10 a.m. Bob is not there that day, like what does that mean for like
Yes,
this?
yes.
Like where
I love that because then that's also, it's like, okay, that's you can have then space where, okay, that's where the world building ends and the storytelling starts.
Yeah.
So you establish your foundation of this is what the world is like. Now something has changed. changed, and that's where we start the story.
Yep.
I find
Yep.
very interesting.
Love an inciting incident. Love an inciting incident.
Listen.
And that's why everyone's coming to the table anyways. Beyond the world that you built. Maybe your world is just the cul-de-sac. Like that's like where it exists. That's where everything matters.
Microcosms are my favorite because I might just because I'm a lazy world builder and I'm like, no, make it small. I just want like a little slice of a community. I want it to be about the people. I want it to be about that little tiny culture and how elaborate those things can get. But that might just be because I don't want to think about a postal system or currency.
Sometimes it's fun to think about that. But that's just me, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the nice thing about Infinite Stories, though, is like you get so many different resources from different types of storytellers that maybe like if it's not a strength that you're normally leaning into, you can be like, okay, what might be some things that could be helpful for building out a world on a macro scale? Because I just want to care about the micro.
Right. I'm here to play, and I have prepped to this far, and now I need a little bit of a helping hand. So, without further ado... So this is the Infinite Stories platform. We're still in demo, so there's still some things that are going to be changing before the full release, but this is a good way for me to organize the world building for now. Normally in world building, you would stick to probably your library, but because we're on a call and I want to be able to do this visually, I'm taking use of our scene grid for a lot of it. Which is here, which is like our infinite GM screen is what we're kind of calling it. So I have I've organized things based off of locations, people, items, artifacts, monsters, beasts. So starting with locations, we've got like mostly just art and some stuff about art maybe. There's a map. And I will also, in the descriptions and captions and everything, I'm going to be sharing all of the artists and creators who made all this wonderful things. They're all handcrafted by fabulous, brilliant artisans. And it's not their fault that I made a bad world with their good stuff. So the very, very simple foundation of this world that I have built, all subject to change because we're working together now. The Elemental City. So a thriving urban center powered by the forces of nature, known for its diverse populace and magical curiosities. That kind of wealth and power also attracts a seedier element, and factions struggle for control behind a facade of civility. And that's like all I got.
That's great. I think that's a great place to start.
It's a great place to start. So we've got, again, it's good bones. Maybe we just gotta knock out a wall.
Number one.
We've got maps. We've got interior locations, exterior locations, scenes with people in them. Some of them might fit this world. Some of them might not. We might need to like prune and edit. Same with the people. We've got just some people in activity. We have some character descriptions with art. We've got a couple of names. Right now we're keeping it relatively system agnostic, but technically there could also be stat blocks in here. Same with our magic items. So we've got some art. We've got some descriptions with art.
Pretty.
So we also have monsters and beasts.
Okay.
So we've got like, again,
very
we've
cool.
got some like lore with like art. I love these wiggly little guys. They're a real thing in Soliton that the creative team have actually built out all this beautiful lore on. I did ruin it because I wanted the picture, and I don't want anyone to judge their good work on my bad work. It's a mix, and some stuff, some things are just pictures, and maybe they don't belong, or maybe they just need some fleshing out. So these are the resources we have at hand.
Okay.
And it seems like both of you seem to start with place. Place and the things around the place. So, which is usually where I kind of start too.
Sure.
So here's the Elemental City.
Yeah.
What speaks to both of you in the description? Are there things you want to add to flesh this out and make it playable instead of just a real general?
So when you think thriving urban center powered by the forces of nature,
Right.
like how literal are we wanting to get with that? Is it literally a thing where it's like, the steps are like powered by the earth, and if you cast a spell, like that's how the steps work? Or is it like a little lighter where it's we have magically manipulated this river so that it like goes through this town
Mm-hmm.
and like feeds into every individual like home? Or is it a thing where day to day people are having to use these elements in order
Mm-hmm.
to, or the forces of nature in order to power this city? Or is this something that's already been like like it's in the infrastructure of the city already, like the magical engineers have taken care of it?
That's a really
I
good
think
question.
I like that question. And it makes me think the fact that it's called the Elemental City means that it had to be named for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe it is notable that it's like maybe it might be like New York, where it's like if I've never seen the subway before, if I've never seen like that like a quantity of like movement or mechanical wonder, if I'm perhaps maybe just a small person from Kansas and like witnessing and experiencing all that, I like to think of it maybe as that way. And one of the things that I keep seeing is on this map that we have that you guys have generated for us, which is beautiful. And there's like this little collection of islands, it looks like to the
Mm.
west. And I keep thinking about New Zealand, how it's a biome that contains like many different types of
Mm-hmm.
biomes within itself. And I was like, what if Elemental City is maybe like structured within that space? And so you've got places that are a little more Arctic that are part of the city that stretch up. Like a lot of
Mm.
the influences are like, maybe able to converge there because you have like if it's elemental, it's drawn from the elements of maybe nature for where they find the stones to make the escalators move as they move through the input of magic or whatever it might have been like those elements that tie it together.
I love moving escalators by like the power of the earth.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
I also
very fun.
like thing, and it can also again just get it be as literal as like some buildings is water,
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
know.
absolutely. The currents are here are special and people have figured out how to. No, I think that's great. I think there's so many fun ways to play with that. I like that a lot.
I love the idea of like someone visiting someone who has gills in their
Mm.
home and needing
Mm-hmm.
to like and like walk in. They just have
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
like little diving bells hanging by the door for visitors who don't have gills. Just and then
Yeah, and
reverse
maybe
diving bells for like little aquarium.
yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be like it is a neighborhood city, and every neighborhood is like, you go into the water neighborhood, and like that is where, you have to go, and like you stop before you check in, and you get into all of your stuff so that you can survive underwater. And then, maybe you do go to more of like an earth part of town where
Mm.
everything is powered by earth, and like, all of the homes are maybe like built into like hills, or like they've the hills have sprouted and like turned into like style like homes that
Yeah.
are like made out of earth, things like that.
I love that because I also personally for me, I love a vertical city. I think it's like a
Oh,
little
yeah,
like
yeah.
hyper future, but also can be like mystical in a certain way. So if it's in maybe a place that is somehow long enough to reach some magma veins at the top,
Mm.
stretches out into some water on the sides, has some perhaps maybe some snowy peaks as it go vertical enough, you get like a little, you can kind of like depending on it play a little bit on that. And also oh, the people in the middle have it so good because they have the options of everything. Now we get to play with class. Sorry, I
Oh,
love
and
doing
like
it.
maybe that is where like the wealthy live, is where you
Yeah,
have easy access to getting to all of these at
just
once.
everything, right? Yeah, that could be fun.
And if we focus back on that like little island structure,
Yeah,
then islands, if we go by Earth geology, right? Then we
sure,
can
sure,
at
sure,
least
sure.
start there. As
Yeah,
far as like if they're made by volcanoes, right? So then
right.
we have
Mm-hmm.
okay. So then maybe the elemental city is vertical. Maybe it is essentially an active, potentially volcano.
Hmm.
But like
Mm.
so from the depths there is it's ocean, and then you go up and it's maybe the magma pool, and then you go
Hmm.
up a little bit more and it's this really rich like extremely fertile, like earth and things like that. And it's
yeah. Like how obviously like it's that rich like clay. Like if you go to Hawaii, they've got like that red dirt clay that's like full of nutrients, and also don't wear white around it because you'll never get it out of your pants.
Yeah. And then
like,
at the top you have like, the clouds and the snow cap, and so you can have all of it.
Mm-hmm. The nice thing, if we knock just like an elevator or something right down the middle, we have a great open concept for our city that we can just convert. I think, no, but I do think that's fun. I feel like the Good Bones have really created a great structure now in terms of like what we know about the city. And the forces of nature that like connect it. And I feel like we've been talking a little bit like diverse populace, but like as I look at this magical curiosities, what is it like also pulls people into like, I'm going to the Elemental City, I'm gonna strike it big, or like, I've got a great idea and Elemental City is the place for it.
I imagine that would be the accent wall of Elemental City, would be something like that. Like that's what brings people in, and like, is there like a festival or a fair, or are they known for
contest?
Or like an area where you like it's where you do trading and you get goods and things like that.
Like one of these boys, maybe.
Yeah, like one of them babies.
What if Elemental City is kind of like a university town, but there's like a multiple universities present within it of like the different elements, or even some like people who specialize in glass because that's earth and fire mixed together. You know what I mean? Like they're like, so like there's only people that you could get. They're all competing for something. There's some great contest at the end for like the grand discovery of the year for magical creation.
Right, like everyone's trying to figure out alchemy, like whatever.
Yeah. See, every world still needs a MacGuffin. You just you need something to drive it, and if you could tie it to your like the world itself, I feel like it gives more reason for why people would want to go on the mission, or why people would maybe like join this contest, or like strive to find the right ingredient for the right recipe to make their family's winning chance.
Mm-hmm.
And do you also have the opportunity, if you're bringing a table of players into it, who's from Elemental City? Who is a tourist coming in?
Yeah.
Where are you from in Elemental City?
Yeah. Are you there because you're super into science? Are you there because you came to steal something? Are you there to like, are you tracking someone? Are you there to find out a secret and take it back to where you live? Because like maybe your town, like you're lacking in something, like you're running out of water, or you're running out of something else. And you're like, well, maybe like there's a secret to be found if I go to Elemental City.
And maybe you just have a song in your heart, and Elemental City is the only, like the range, because I think that's always fun, is like, because now if maybe there's a system of like people who work for this like researcher industry, then it's also people who support it, and like all of the other like people who just exist in that place, the other like things that have had to split off and like establish and support this industry, because you can't just work in it.
Yes, yeah. Like love the idea that like it's not, someone's got to be making the beakers, someone's got to everybody's got to eat. There's got to be people who are creating things, and like what does that look like in a town where you can, where everybody is like doing mashups of the elements. And also, what does it mean? Is there like competition where you say like there's universities and things like that? Like, is it one of those things where some of the schools have more money, so they're able to do things faster, and like some of the other schools have to be like a little more like daring and brash and light on their feet because they don't have the budget that the other ones do, or the support mechanism, if we're not gonna like really go on currency, but they don't have like the Patreons or whatever it is to like be able to do those, and so they've got to like scrap it out. And maybe they do have to do things like we really like, oh, we came up with this, but those jerks over at Big Budget Element like stole our plan, so we gotta like steal it back, or like something like that.
I even like the notion of like, we get your location, like we've been in this bad like we don't have access to the good materials, we created something smarter than you, now we get to work in your like, so there's like I want your lab and your equipment, so there's like constantly like shifting of people.
Like if you want the best stuff, you have to prove you're the best workers, and like that's how you get access to like the cushy life where all you do is you get to do your experiments.
Ooh, I think that's
just
real
academia.
Yeah, we've just invented tenure.
Yeah.
Magic tenure. I mean, that's the other aspect of Elemental City in like that brief description is that like, oh, there's a seedier element. There are factions.
Yeah.
Struggling for control. So is the facade of civility academia then? Is it just, this school, this school, this school? Oh, the other thing that I didn't point out is I have some extra stuff in our little unassigned area that can go into different things.
Very fun.
And so there's music, or there's one faction. There's like an extra magic item. There's like all sorts of other stuff. As we like look to expand and build, there could be more things in there. Or we can make something.
Well, what do you see? Let's look and see what couple of things that are in there and see what we can integrate.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we get a pretty good compass heading on where we're thinking about, you know?
Yes. Let's see how we can use these cards to throw some folks in.
Yeah. So here's people.
Yeah.
I'm going to like pull this out and be like, okay, so here is a faction potentially.
Yeah.
The Death's Head faction.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
So here's our like the vibe of a Death's Head faction as far as what we think it is. This is also something that's very common for Infinite Stories specifically, is you can take, I like the idea of a Death's Head faction. I like the emblem that it has, but I want it to fit my world. So now this is my card, and I can change this a modular platform. So I can take this free content and I can adapt to my world. I can take this emblem and adapt it to my world, and it's now it fits. It's very easy to individualize. So we can like say like, if this is like, this is like a kind of, the Death's Heads are a network of agents skilled in non-violent political disruption based off their understanding of the cyclical nature of magic.
Yeah, because we could have them. That sounds like that could be either if they are like trying to pull the strings because they're like the shadowy network. They're trying to pull the strings behind off of this. Maybe they're trying to like solve the puzzle of like death, and they think that like these like figuring out some of this science will like help them figure out, because they're talking about like non-violence, like can that stretch into like just not the violence of death, like you don't even, so we're trying to like figure out how to do that, and how better to know how to not die than to study death, maybe even.
I was literally thinking that. Like truly, like what if these people are like they run the morgues in a way of like someone has to handle like the front facing job is a lot of it is like these are the people who bury, these are the people who sort of work with that, and it has given them access and understanding to what happens at the highest level, because in death you're kind of laid bare. What are the things that are now being like disputed amongst your heirs? What are the things that are like sort of coming to light in that space? I think that is at least specific to one of the things of like knowledge is power in a space that is maybe like the entire city is about the newest discovery. Looking into people's histories and like knowing that is also like a unique skill. I think that's fun to like have those two mixed together, being like, so
it's like both like they've like not just solving like the mystery of like, you know, because again, like there's got to be these things that happen in these cities, like, so not just like solving like the mystery of like these people's death, but also like solving the mystery of like their life.
And well, I think kind of in the way that you're saying of like if they've got some elemental, they're a seedier group, they've got a network of agents, well, they're able to operate on certain information that they've gleaned from people's, that's to maybe lean pressure on certain institutions or like sort of like do that for still pushing their goal of eternal life, like sort of like using that to their advantage of like, hey, we're non-violent, so we don't do violence. Blackmail, come on,
that's blackmail's fine. No one said that we couldn't do violence. No one said that we couldn't do that.
What if a storm just randomly thrust upon your home? That wasn't us. Couldn't have been.
Yeah, that's wild. But hey, remember that conversation we had last week? You want to maybe circle back around to it?
Ooh, let's double click on it. Let's
let's just I mean, we have all this time. Because what are you gonna do? Go home?
No. You can't. You don't have any time to spend with your family. They're not even here anymore. Come on, we'll chat.
So we have that they're the network of agents, and they're also the organization responsible for handling essentially the processes and products of death and mortality.
Ooh.
Right? That's like the vibe that you're... And then the other aspect of that was they're trying to stop death. as part of their like non-violence moment.
If the ability to stop death, maybe getting to choose who gets that.
Yeah, because like if there's like if in this city all elements can be controlled and you're studying the how to control, you would probably feel pretty like, well, if we have control over everything, like what's the one thing we don't have control over? And that would be like death.
And then how can we control that?
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, and we've already got like a jumping off point here in this where it's master change, master your environment.
Yeah. And the fact that you're just able to edit directly into it is really great. That's so nice.
We can keep things relatively simple here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just one of many factions, right? There could be other ones as well. Like we were talking about the sort of different style. I mean, we talked about an underwater city.
So we could add, there's room to build another faction in. So you just save it, and now it's just there.
Heck yeah.
Hey.
Card updated successfully. She can use technology.
Hey.
This technology makes it easier. So then we have people who could be part of these kinds of like shifty characters. Maybe that's somebody who's part of the Death Heads.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe it isn't. Maybe she's I love her so much.
I enjoy her as well, but it's good art.
I also love that like that other dude looks so like kind of on brand with the sideburn, like that I like that we take someone who where like she doesn't like you look at her like she doesn't look like evil. Yeah. You know? And so like to have her in this, you know, whether or not she turns out to be someone who is like untrustworthy and evil, or whether or not like the death like actually is going towards a noble goal that we just don't see yet. Yeah. She's incredibly like disarming.
Yeah. I really like this thing of being
character to be like an evil character.
Yeah. But this whole spate of it being like unassigned is also nice because it's like maybe you've been playing for a little bit and now you're players and you are on like session 7 and you're planning on doing like 10 of this current arc that you're on and you're like, oh, okay, we need to twist it in a tie. Like I need to know somebody who's actually the head of this faction or somebody who's like on this side. I'm kind of running a loop. You have this place where it's all just kind of capped where it's like, okay, let me just see for something that I might be drawing for, or like, oh, I forgot about that we had mentioned this person in the past.
Yeah.
Like, how do I tie them back in? Or actually, it already ties back in. Sort of like using those things. Every time you can close a loop, even if it's only to yourself, is so satisfying to me.
Satisfying.
I love closing a loop. I love a callback.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, and that's comedy too, right? Like you got to be able to just go. We've got a lot of options for the kinds of people who can exist here.
Yeah. Very fun.
I'm obsessed with this art too. Mostly I'm just world building by being like, this is cool art. This is cool art. This is cool art.
The art's dope. It's
so
very
like,
pretty.
That's unassigned where it's like I think they're gonna get to this session, but I don't know when, so I'll add it to the scene when it's time.
Right. I will need a boss battle music. We'll figure out what a boss fight would look like, and whenever it's gonna happen, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about items or monsters first?
Oh, I think monsters.
Yeah, let's do monsters.
I think that when you have like an idea of like monsters, then you can go like what items either like could help or could like hinder, like because that could be fun sometimes too.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you've got like already some stuff that it like already shows. Oh, I don't know, a little bit of some ideas of animals that could be in different elements.
That sweet baby could live in the tree houses, like which are just like houses inside, or like whatever, like live inside the earth places. Yeah.
Even about like its like tail, it almost looked like a little drip of like mud. And I was like, what if it's like a mud squirrel? You know what I mean? It's like it's a little burrowy, kind of running around, having a good time. It's a sand weasel as it's described here. That's cool. I like that.
And you could just keep the art, change the name, right?
Yeah.
This one comes with a stat block.
Oh, very fun.
So it looks like it's 5e. Nice and simple if it ends up being 5e. And you can detach it if you're playing Daggerheart, you know? We have that guy. We have whatever this guy is.
Oh, that's
kind of lava-y.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that screams lava dragon to me.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
And like the stone around it is also fun to play with. I like that.
Yeah, very elemental. This guy looks very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Carl? You guys know about Carl?
Yeah, he's got like a
Yeah.
shield, a little shield.
Hey, hey guys, it was pretty cold out today, but I'm out. And, like that's my dude.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
like,
is it cold or is it just me?
I'm telling you, it's rough out there. Yeah. I like this one, the little like flying lizard. This is a cool guy.
Yeah. And he's got no lore right now, so we can always add lore.
Oh yeah.
We can
Something about him
expand.
feels big leaf energy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because he's also got those little like those great like legs for climbing.
Yeah.
So maybe he's an upper or like a mid.
Yeah,
with,
and he like
some
you.
earth element, some air element.
Oh
Yeah, and he camouflages himself like with the leaves. So if you run up on him, like you don't know that like he's. And he's also got almost like a gecko-ish body, so it can be both like leaf camouflage and then the body changes color.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think the notion of also, and it like just seeing this gives me the inspiration of having a moment where like my players might be walking into a tree full of leaves, but it's actually just these. And so now they brush by and like suddenly you're an encounter because nobody had like, you know what I mean? Or,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And now
little,
you're like, and now
yeah.
you've been swarmed on by these.
So are they pigeons? Is it like the pigeon equivalent of
Maybe in the Earth
Maybe.
area.
in, like,
Yeah.
the area? Is that
I
what
like
that is?
that.
Are they pests? Are they prized like endangered creatures? Like
If it's
I
the
get
pigeon,
there
it's the
too, right?
both. It's gotta, I like the notion of it. Oh, well, this is fun now that you mentioned pigeon of like what's the history of it? Maybe at one
Right.
point they were prized and now they're like kind of
Yeah.
left alone. Like I think
Off
it
an
gives a lot
invasive
of fun to play.
species from a different island and never
Oh
Ooh.
yeah. Oh, or like a cross. Like you mentioned that it could be
Oh, is it
a
magical?
cross between two.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be, and this is just me thinking about The Sims.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be like one of them like crossed over into the other, and like over like generations, they've become this new creature that like no one knows. Like people are still figuring out how to deal with.
These guys could be the first indigenous species of Elemental Island, in like Elemental City in a way that like hadn't been prior. It was like it only through the magics here and the combining of certain elements would have ever like happened before. I think that's really fun to also play with. And other people are like, well, that's great, but they're eating up all my like all my cabbages outside. Come on.
My cabbages.
My cabbages.
So that's
We're
like
talking
it's
about
a
elements.
symbol.
We got to mention the
I
cabbage.
know, right?
It's been at the back of my mind, just we're lurking.
I know.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
did
the
really
symbol
good.
of
Yeah.
Elemental City is this creature that technically can exist, survive, thrive in all of the zones.
A soon to be super predator.
Is that the inciting incident? I think one of them got it's a
It's Jurassic
I was
World.
gonna say it's Jurassic World.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
never thought they knew that they could.
They never thought that they should.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And then there's also just I just included this as inspiration of like, there's more of this is just a scene of other creatures that could or could not be included in this world.
Oh yes.
I love the splashy lava guy.
Yeah.
And also the fun thing to include an angel looking dude, because it's like we've talked a lot about elements, but it's fun to also think about what are demons in this world if there's already like, what are those things of like what are folks' thoughts of what happens after you die? Why is it so important that you don't die for the Death's Head faction? Like what do some people believe versus others? This is inspiring to also some people might not like it. I love making like a theology or a theocracy in a world. Like I think it's fun to play with in a really cool way. And this is giving me a lot of inspiration just from the image of that.
Yeah, like that water, the water snake is like a biblically accurate.
A biblically accurate minnow. Just
yeah.
Okay, so we have our new symbol. What's the name?
Try not to make it too Pokemon name.
Yeah.
I mean, it's our world.
Like Flutterby, like
yeah. Oh my God, the Flutterby infestation, it's getting out of hand. I like that actually.
Flecko or something like that.
Flecko is also strong. Flecko's really strong.
Why they call it a Flecko? It's a flying gecko, guys.
It's a flying gecko. Like, we don't have to work too hard.
We don't have to work too hard. And also, people would not work too hard either. I think there's a way of like, that's always fun to play with as well.
Yeah.
Well, because there would be like a genus name, like a fancy name, but like no one's calling, you know what I mean? Like no one's calling it that. Like,
but there's one person who gets really upset when somebody refers to it as a Flecko. And it's like, I don't know.
Is the archivist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, actually.
Oh, actually.
I'm gonna call a monkey an ape, and you can't like stop me, or like a chimp, or like whatever. Like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
you can't stop
It's
me.
just like, ugh.
Technically,
Correct.
it's a baboon, just so you know. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like,
But I'm not gonna. Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's also fun. Now that we have a name for it, is what does it mean? Like, if we're going back to the squirrels, because maybe it's I can see a few out of my window. But like, what does it mean for someone to be squirrely? What's someone to be like fleckish? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to like have that sort of energy. I think that could be fun. Because I love also then thinking of what are like what are the phrases of this world when things go when people don't say rats. You know,
Yeah.
what do they say instead? Yeah.
I absolutely love like digging into the local language and like the local slang and like
Yeah.
what, you know, like how do people
Quirks.
cuss? Like what's a curse word and like why, you know, and like what level of curse word? Because there's obviously a difference between like a hell or a damn. There's like a wide chasm between what those are and like why would it mean that, you know?
Well, maybe I mean it's even the fun way of what we've been playing with. Like it is elemental horrors, where it's like, oh, you storming monsoon. Like it's like one of those things where it's like, it could be fun to play with. Oh, he's such a drought. Like in the notion of like what that means for the people. Because even then, it's kind of we figure it out slightly.
He's such a drought. I might start using in
actual
conversation.
Please go for it.
So the last little like bit we have are these items, just ideas for weapons or like little like stuff that's not supposed to be on there. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
But like,
this
is cool. A fan of shifting faces. Where you can just be stealthy.
And I feel like, because with some of these, I feel like if you're someone who's like used to living in like the lava area or whatever, like you're not going to get like super warm. But some of these are going to be things that if you're coming from outside the area, like if you're coming from the more airy area, you would naturally have a fan on you anytime you would go to anywhere else, because everywhere else is going to be like, if there's not a lot of like wind or like air, everywhere else is going to feel too like dry and stagnant. So it might not even be that you're warm. It's just that like you really like hate to not have air blowing on you. That's just me talking about me. Like I have a thing about I need to have air blowing on me at all times.
I like that. But even if it's maybe not even air, it's like a misting fan. If you're like somebody who's also like from the more damp area, if you're somebody who's like a sanguine type creature, where it's like, nah, I gotta be moist, guys. Sorry. And like, so everywhere you go, you got your fan on you. I think that's always fun to mess with too. That sounds cool.
That does sound cool. And then we've got like actual elements or actual items that look like they belong in different areas. So like we've got this little weapon that is frozen. And what happens if that weapon ends up in a different part? Is there a black market for magic items that you can't get in this region because you can't make it here?
Yeah. And like the amount of damage that bringing in that powerful of a new element would do to like something else. You know, if you bring in a freezing, you know, the freezing wave, which might come from those mountaintops that you talked about. And yeah, like obviously if you bring it into like more of a water area, that's going to have an effect.
Or what if you, and because I'm always going to go to a heist storyline if I can, right? Like,
love a heist.
Suddenly, right, there's some kind of like heist that is somebody used the freezing wave to break in somewhere, right? So everyone's going to be looking at, somebody from a mountaintop, and it's not because they are using, you know, someone else's element to try and, you know, lay a false trail. There's so much like fun intrigue there, right? So then it's what could people want, and how are you using the norms of this world to set up expectations and then break them to surprise your players?
Yeah. Well, and I even think the fun notion of maybe the freezing wave up north isn't even a weapon. It's like how you get around, man. Like it's like from peak to peak, you can't really. You need to make an ice path, and this is the only thing that does it. And I think there's a fun way of playing on that. Like it was like, what? Oh no! You know what they use this for? All X, Y, and Z.
I love that. Something that like is a tool or like a boon somewhere becomes like a deadly weapon somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Like something even like innocuous. Like if you're in a place where you need to build dams or you need to, have like a plunger or something, but you bring that into somewhere where they don't have that. Suddenly it goes from being just like a regular thing to like this will murder our whole town.
What if you bring silica gel to an underwater place?
Whoa.
You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
sort of,
Bees or whatever they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun.
And then there's like little stuff of like, oh, is there something that like is loot?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there what's something that's prized? What's a prized item? Is it something
Ooh.
that's like unique and weird or dangerous, or is it just old and special, rare?
I have an idea for this because this is something that we keep talking about, the idea of like mail and what does mail look like.
Yeah.
Like what if those pens are like specifically like you write your message in the air and then the feather like goes off and then like that's what delivers the message as it like writes it back in the air for someone else.
So it's
And that
not
can
a
be how
messenger
mail
bird, it's a
works.
little messenger feather just
Yeah, and that's how
Ooh.
mail works in like the air parts of town.
I like that a lot. And it's like, I'm waiting for a reply and you can hold up a pen missing a feather in sort of a way that it's like,
Yeah.
there it's coming. And like
You
you can
just
sort of
onto the quill,
Yeah.
and then you just let it go, and it like,
Right.
oh, that's such a good magic item. Or like, what's this? What's this full of?
Oh.
What's
Well, it's
that
got like
do?
the leaf.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like it's gotta be sap.
Yeah, or
Sure.
like a chlorophyll.
Yeah. Pure unadulterated chlorophyll. I like that, yeah.
Ooh, which again, like the plants like around in the Earth region would like suck that up. What happens if you get a bunch of that and you now it's like a chemical weapon that you're using in like the water areas?
Yes.
Right.
I
So
was
then
even
it's just
saying
like overgrowth, right? It's like a red tide.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was even thinking earlier, this other item right above it, that cloak thing.
Yeah.
When we were
Mm.
talking about the diving bells, or like the opposite of like, what if it's just this cloak where you put it on and then it's like a little bubble that goes over your head if you need to go
Mm.
underwater, and then if you need to be like above water, above ground with water, also will provide the same thing. It's like it's a bubble
Mm.
of whatever you need. It'll just carry it with you. I think that could be fun.
That's so good. You just put the hood up, and it's just a
Yeah.
different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. I just
Mhm.
love that it's like if it's just like greenery too. If you do need the oxygen, it's just like the oxygen is what the plants are giving off, and that's
Yeah, because
just,
you
like,
see like the vines and that could
yeah.
be feeding into the hood.
That could be different hoods for different
Yep,
hoods.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
like,
Different hoods for
literally.
different.
A hood for your
Yeah,
hood.
absolutely. Well, this is, it's a green hood, so I need this to get access to there. Yeah, for whatever you might need to go through
So
it.
good. This world is so much more fleshed out than when we started. I love that there's already like quirks and lingo. I love that there's already the evolution of indigenous creatures. We have social castes. We have potentially like competition and culture. We have either Jurassic World or we've got a heist potentially. We've got some kind of like contest. There's so many options for different MacGuffins depending on where people go, depending on your party makeup, what people are interested in playing, what kinds of stories they're interested in telling. But we've already got a world that is ready for a heist, ready for some dark academia, ready for some like solar punk or hope punk kind of style steampunk stuff. We got all like practically like a Zootopia moment going on with all the different ecosystems.
And the nice thing is, depending on like what your players build their characters as, is where they're coming from, you can keep a slice of each in whatever way you need. And then like, oh, we're all going to experience this for the first time, or oh, now we can tie in your backstory with this, or like X, Y, or Z. It feels like it could be fun.
And we've got some great NPCs potentially in people who look deceptively innocent, and maybe they're part of the Death's Heads, right? Maybe they're attempting to end death non-violently.
Yeah. That was so funny.
That is so funny. I mean, I feel like this world got flipped.
We did. We flipped it. I feel very good.
So what adventure would you like? If you were running a one-shot, Danielle, what would you run in the Elemental City now that we've like built it out a little bit?
I think I do like I love your idea of a heist. I do think that that's really fun. I would probably I really love a mystery. I love a mystery with a little twist. So I might run like a mystery in a place like this. Yeah, I might do it as like a mystery, like a noir style.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What about you, Masood?
I'm a big fan of a countdown chase, where it's like I gotta get to here before they get to me. And sort of the notion of even starting from one part of the city and trying to get to another one throughout like the course of it. That feels very fun to them, like sort of get a real maybe Fast and Furious style energy, like kind of heisty, but like you got to stay one step ahead of whatever the enforcement is that's coming after you.
I love that. I have been really focused on the volcano aspect of it and the competition aspect of it, and a part of me wants to do some kind of academic competition.
Ooh.
Where the goal is to find a solution to the theoretical problem of a volcano becoming more active or the city destabilizing, and it's not actually a theoretical problem.
Oh, yeah.
So as the party is developing this like cure or this solution, suddenly it's revealed that the stakes are very high.
And you know what the fun thing about this is, like, once you have this established, I'm now thinking about like, okay, we do this whole campaign. It's the experience of this university competition. It's this heist. And then for next season, we're coming back with aliens. What does it mean for extraterrestrial elements? Like the notion of like playing with that, I think is really fun to explore as well. Like, because we have what we have, and now what do we break all of it? What do we do if we like completely shift it in the right ways?
Or expand it, right? If you Captain Planet it. And so what's the hard element? Right? What's spirit? Is that life and death? Is that where we incorporate whatever that weird angel guy is? Like what happens when it gets taller and deeper? Right?
Yeah.
Maybe it Twin Peaks a little bit. Maybe it gets a little weird.
Element of time. That's fun. I love Vertical City is gonna really, that's changed the way that I world build. I feel so excited to play in this world now. We have a heist. We have an apocalyptic competition. We have a Fast and Furious race. We have kind of endless opportunities to explore in this city now. So let us know what kinds of stories you would tell in the Elemental City. And let us know if you want to see more of stuff like this. I might take it into consideration. I had fun, so I'm probably going to keep doing this. Thank you so much to Danielle and Masood for making this so much better than it was when I started.
Thank you. It had good bones. It really had good bones.
Good bones. It just needs, just need to knock out a wall or two.
Yeah.
Needed to just turn it on its side and make it vertical.
Exactly.
Make it vertical.
And Danielle, Masood, tell us where you could be found on the internet.
Yeah, you could just find me, Danielle Radford. I'm that in most places. Look for the one that looks like me. It's probably me.
And then I'm basically on everything at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. But yeah, that's me.
And you can find me at all places that Infinite Stories exists. We're Tell Infinite Stories on most platforms. And you can check out our pre-launch now at app.infinitestories.com. We'll see you later.
Thanks for hanging.